Hello, my fellow patriots. Today, I would like to talk to you about black on black crime, something that is not mentioned by the Democrat Party or black communities. It just seems that something like this, something that needs to be hidden. I, for whatever reason, I do not know. Because being a victim of black on black crime myself, my children and I, I'm not going to sit back and act like it's not happening in our communities, not in our communities, just in general, but it happens more in black communities. And just to give you a little background about how it happened to me and my family. Well, I think it was around 2005. I had my children. I had four of my children at that time as a single father, and we were all crammed into like a two-bedroom apartment, and it was really crowded, and I was paying a lot of money for that apartment. And like apartments in my city are very expensive. This a two-room apartment costs like at that time, this was 2005, like $1,300 a month. So I found a place that was geared to my income, and I don't know this outside the city that well where I am, and I was just so desperate that I went into this neighborhood in the daytime. And I said, wow, this is nice, beautiful. These are nice townhouses. So, like, how's it possible that they could be, so cheap? If you've seen it, you wouldn't believe it. It was like, it had three floors, my own garage and backyard, and it was like townhouses. It was like a circle, a roundabout, and I'd say it was at least 500 houses that were in the same area that were a part of the housing community. But the first night I had a red flag. The first night I lived there, my neighbor, um, she's white and she had a handicapped uh, disabled child, and she was married with another daughter. And the night I moved in, I heard glass breaking, and so I looked out my window and I seen glass. I thought it was my glass. But the way the houses are, they're so close together. So I looked out my window, and like I said, it was my neighbor's window. So the next morning, I asked her like, what's going on? She goes, yeah, someone broke our window, and somebody came to us, and they warned us that that was a warning for white people to get out of the neighborhood. And like I said, there was a few white people there, but not a lot. So they end up moving out, which was very, very sad. How could you do that to a family, especially with the disabled child? I don't care what race you are. But anyways, that was the first red flag that I've seen. So I lived in the community, so I got really involved, and I volunteered my time to try to help uh, young children get off the street and into after school programs. And there was gangs in my neighborhood, creeds, whatever you want to call them, and I was helping to organize cleanups, and I was just helping with my community, something that I felt like I was supposed to do. And so like I'm getting all these looks. People are looking at me for like a couple of months. There was shooting and stuff going on, but there was no violence towards my family. But there was so much black on black crime. It was unbelievable. It was pretty sad. But it hit my family one night. I woke up one night and I heard gunshots. And like I said, in my neighborhood, it wasn't surprising to me. So I just went downstairs, looked around, checked to see if my family was okay, and everybody was okay. Ended up going back to sleep. But for some reason, I was having a hard time sleeping. I felt like a sharp pain in my heart, like something stabbed me. I don't know what was going on, but it felt like something in my soul was something in my soul was just aching. So I knew something was wrong, but I was tired that night because I had to go to work. I worked the day before, and I was going to work the next morning, the following morning. So, anyways, go down to my car. And what do I see? My minivan riddled with bullets in my hood and in my side. And when I looked outside, I went outside in the front. I seen two bullet holes in my garage door, and I was terrified. And I went back inside, called the police. The police came. They did an investigation, and nothing came of that investigation. So I had a good friend within the community, and he said that he was going to do his own investigation because he was how do you say a higher volunteer than I was. Like he was like a manager, and he knew the community. He lived there for a long time. Actually, his job was to help young black youth find jobs, and which was very hard. Actually, there was a lot of jobs, but they weren't accepting it. But I digress. But I was so shocked that that happened to me, and you know, in total bullets, I thought there was two, three bullets in my vehicle. There ended up being like 8 to 10 in my vehicle, and two in my home. And that night, somebody stepped over my house. They asked me if they could sleep over, and I slept in the basement because it was a finished basement. And she had a newborn baby, a friend that I knew for 30 years that needed a place to stay because she was having issues with where she was staying. So I allowed her to stay there for a couple of days. And like I said, that bullet could have went inside and hit her child. So her baby, her newborn baby. So, and this is not the first time this happened in my neighborhood. I should have known better because I think a few weeks back, actually a month back, my neighbor um, got shot in the leg. I seen his grandfather carrying up the stairs like with his arm over his shoulder, and all I seen was blood coming down his leg. And up the street, um, there was somebody else shot uh, that were in the same altercation, and it was over a dime bag, and that the guy that was caught up in the shooting, he died, and as he laid there, he was asking people, please don't let me die, please don't let me die, I don't want to die, and he passed away, and that's why I'm exposing all these things. I mean, but I felt bad because I was trying to help my community, but I had to move because I was afraid for the safety of my children. I was fearing for their lives. So anyways, I ended up moving, which is very, like I said, I really love those being with those the group of children. And my children got so used to them in the program, but we had to move. But 2 weeks after, there was a child playing outside 2 doors down from my house. And as he was playing, there was a gang. They were shooting at each other, and a kid, 5-year-old kid, got shot in the head. 2 doors down from my house, and I was so hurt when I heard that. I was happy that we moved out just on time because my kids, when I was out there playing or doing things for my car or my garden, that's the only time I let them play in the front yard. And they could have been out there that day. But knowing that child got shot in the head because these guys had some kind of dispute, and these guys don't even know how to shoot. But so that's why I'm exposing this because I'm tired of the Democrat Party and black people acting like this is not a problem. It's a huge problem that needs to be fixed, and I just hope and pray that something is done about this because at that time when it happened there was no black on black, there was no Black Lives Matter, but they had other organizations, black organizations, and they didn't come and have demonstrations for all the black people that were dying in my neighborhood. It was like a ghost town. The only people that were interested was the media, and they were just there just to get their story. They don't care about nothing but themselves and their story. But I'm going to continue to fight and expose this because it needs to be exposed. It needs to be, communities, black communities need to come together and talk about this because we're going to end up going in circles. That's what's happening. We're going in circles by ignoring what's happening. And I don't know if they're ignoring it because they're ashamed of it or they're just acting like it's not happening for political reasons because that's what usually happens. But I just want to share that story with you guys. Okay? Love you guys. God bless. Please check out my links and subscribe to my other channels. Thank you.